Hi, Scorpio. This is Jeffrey. This is Ripecolor. This is the reading for 2023. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, press the bell for notifications. I offer private readings. I also offer IET. IET is a healing modality which can help you to move energy. It involves asking the angels for what it is you'd like to receive and what you'd like to release. So, generally what's going on with me for the moment is like a little mini message. And I'm just full of gratitude. I am full of gratitude. I really am. I just heard from a friend. I have a friend here in Mexico who has been so kind and so reliable and compassionate. And I'm really overwhelmed. I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful. And I was talking to him about somehow this is going to turn into the mini message. I don't know how. I was talking to him about how this has been a major change. If you're new to the station, I moved to Mexico and lived my whole life in New York. It's a long story. And I was talking to him about how like there's more intuitive gifts coming for me, and I'm tuning in, and I'm in the water. I'm in the water. It's almost like I picked up. I don't know how to say it. It's almost like I've been a musician my whole life. I'm not a musician, but like I'm giving an example. Like I had the musical ability my whole life, and in my 50s, I like I've been reading tarot for a lot longer, but like I was free enough or open enough or whatever enough to go there, and now it's coming more and more, and I think the message is don't block the blessing. Don't block the blessing. And we all have blessings. We all have gifts. We all have uh, abilities, and not everyone plays the violin the same way, right? So some people are more able to play the violin than others, right? So whatever that is, whether it's playing the violin or reading cards or painting paintings or talking to people or cooking, or I feel like it's really going to come through this year. And the other thing I wanted to talk about, it's going to be a hell of a year. There's going to be a lot going on in the outside world. A lot of Scorpios are deeply intuitive, deeply empathic, whether you know it or not. And it's really easy to get lost in what's going on in the outside world. So it's super, this is not the cards. This is just me speaking. It's super important to have a relationship with spirit. It's super duper important. And I have a daily conversation and interaction with spirit every day. And I have for many, many years. And you say spiritual. No, I have to. I have to. Just like an athlete needs more food, right? Just like it's like that. I need it. I need it. Otherwise, I cannot really function at my best. So it's as simple as talking to God every day, talking to spirit every day, or meditating, and it doesn't have to be a long, drawn out thing. You can find a YouTube meditation video of something that you want or whatever, like a guided meditation. You put it on, you listen to it every day, you let them guide you. Oh, I don't know how to meditate. It's really simple. You just follow the instructions. I could, other videos I'll talk about what I do. But, don't deny yourself the gift. Don't deny yourself the gift, and don't deny others the gift of you. That is the message. Finally, I got to it. The dog is agreeing with me. I'm doing them at night because I thought it was quiet. But if it's like, it's 10:40 and whatever. 1, 2, 3. All right, here we go. That's interesting. So I have a page who is like has an inkling of a new idea. It's like, staking a claim in new land in a way, like an inkling, and like, I think I'll try this. That's what pages are about. They have this energy of like, it's a page of wands. So this is energy of, hey, I think I'll try this, right? So try something new, something that ignites your passion, something that is instinctually, that like your instinct says, go for it, do it, right? And then I have the Lovers, which is a really lovely, I think the prettiest card in the deck. So the Lovers has a lot of information. I got to get coffee. Like it's only 10:40, but if I don't have coffee, darling. All right, 2 seconds. Black, naturally. I have black grapes and black coffee. It's not really quite iced coffee yet. It will be in an hour or two. Lovers is a fascinating card. It's about choice. It's about love. It's about a contract. At the end of the day, the Lovers is about a contract. That's why I see it. So it's about, I mean, look at the card. It's so beautiful. Adam and Eve in the garden. Tree of life, tree of knowledge. The apples are there. Orioles there to bring them light. Staking your claim in something new is like making a new contract with the divine, saying, I'm willing to be led. I'm willing to bring the duality together. I'm willing to understand my feminine and masculine qualities, bring them together in something new that is being blessed. It's also, if you look here, this is an upright triangle, which is really the fire energy, which is really about reaching toward God, right? Like reaching out and saying, help me, guide me, protect me, love me. Okay. And then I have the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is all about, well, he's all about action, but he's really about, and he's got I love his outfit, but he's really about like having a strategy. So it's like, until you take that first step, there's no strategy. I feel like I always say, like, the way to learn something is by doing it, right? So there's that energy, right? And I have to tell you, now someone's selling, what do you call it? Tamales. I love tamales. They come on the bicycle and they have like a recording and they, drive around. Always late. Always late. Tamales are always late. Yeah. Higher self, guardian angel, guardian angels. I'm willing to go deeper into what you would have me do. That's the new contract. And that's where the strategy comes toward action. Learning something. Being willing to learn, being curious, being in a state of wonder. Interesting beginning, huh? Yeah, toward your ship's coming in, toward creativity, toward expecting to be lit up. Mhm. 360 view. The time is now. I always read her as the time is now. She's also, I have a lot of wands here. So it's not like, sometimes I think we have this notion of like, oh, well, what's God's will for me? Oh, God's will for me it is to be really poor and in sacks and ashes and I don't know, all that crazy stuff. It's like, no, maybe you need to find a new God to have a new contract. That's right. It's like it's something that keeps you on, that lights the fire inside of you. That's like, I really like this. I really like this. This is really cool. This makes me want to get out of bed in the morning. This makes me, or stay up all night. This makes me, excited. Hmm. I, I, I watch a few other readers. None of them really regularly. I pick up a little here and a little there. And then sometimes, some of their interpretations like really resonate with me. Sometimes they don't, but sometimes they really do. And I don't know who it was, and I've been talking about it for about a week or so. But so this is two, it's a choice, second two. Um, so traditionally this is sort of like, oh, it's like caught between a rock and a hard place and sitting still. And, there's a lot of interpretations. I always interpreted this as intuition because I see this as antennae, right? And she's so into her intuition, it doesn't even matter what she sees. It matters more she's paying attention to what she hears and what she feels in her body, right? And so she's sitting there, and it's like a state of meditation, right? It's almost a state of peace because there's a certain symmetry to it. It's almost like sitting between the thoughts and like seeing what happens, right? I'm going to sit between the thoughts. Oh, I could go that way, I could go that way, and it's like, let me sit here for a while and see what comes up. Like that's what I get from the card. And what happens is, living, I'm surrounded by volcanoes here. Is this new land appears in the background. And this new land, I always feel like is this new land inside of her. It's this new land, a new place to stake her claim, a new place to like for an opportunity, she's not quite aware of it yet, but it's almost like her subconscious is like building something or setting something up for her to build upon. Like it's new land. Like there's something subconscious going on. Like if you like saying to your higher self or whatever you want to call it, um, I'm willing to like see both sides of myself. I'm willing to be aligned with what God's will is for me because I know it's for my own benefit and I know it's for the benefit of others, right? And it doesn't, and it's not all suffering. It could be full of joy, right? Then something new crops up. Something new crops up. Okay. That brings more balance and illumination as well. Because I always, so this is about balance, card of Libra, card of Venus, also one of the cards of Venus. And it's illuminated, it's like the ideas come from, because, I think in the world we live in, we're also ego driven. I mean, I'm pretty ego driven, don't get me wrong. It's like, oh, well, I had a new idea. It's like, I think that all ideas, stem from another space. Yeah, it involves our experience, it fits us, but I think it stems from another space, which is like, I think it's part of us, but I think it's like on another realm. Yeah, you have the high ground. Worry not. This is sometimes this is about being defensive for no reason. You know what I mean? It's like he's all defending his territory, but he has the high ground. He's in good shape. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Let them just, tickety talk, it's like all the craziness in their head. Because sometimes I think that's other people, but sometimes I think it's like the craziness in our own head saying, oh, it won't work. And what are you doing? And yeah, this is a very, this card has a lot of meaning. So this is really the mother, right? It's the mother, it's loving, it's mommy. So on her negative side, she could sort of get lost. She could sort of get lost in her illusion. She could sort of get lost in her intuitive stuff, just sort of float around in there. But in her positive side is that she has tremendous compassion and she's deeply, deeply, deeply nurturing, deeply nurturing. And I feel like if you're walking around as a Scorpio and you have all this intuitive stuff and you have all this empathic stuff, then you need to find a place to be nurtured. You need to find a place to be nurtured. It's really important. It's really, really like if you have a really profound physical job, right? And you work like 8 or 10 hours a day, right? And you're sweating your, what off. And you're right, you need to have a place to sleep. Or just like I said, the athlete, if you're burning that many calories, you need to have enough food. That's the right food. It's the same thing. Like if you are deep into all that intuitive stuff, and if you're a Scorpio, you are, whether you're not, know it or not, then you need to have a place that's nurturing. And see, the thing is that I was talking about to my friend, it's such a culture shock for me to live here in so many ways. I mean, first of all, the climate's completely different. It's almost the same all year. It's like 75 every day. And then at night it gets cool. It's really lovely. It's been the most consistent thing. But at the same time, like I'm not really fantastic with the language. And I'm walking around in a new city, and it's a really fascinating city. On the same block, you can see everything, like a grand old building and like something that's completely disintegrated and something that's in between, and somebody selling this and selling that. And then it's like there's a lot. And, because I don't speak the language as well as I will, I'm a little bit isolated. I'm a little bit isolated. And, but I don't feel alone. It's a big difference. I don't feel alone. I don't feel alone because I talk to spirit all day long. I'm like communicating with God or with spirit all day long. I really am. And I'm comforted. I'm comforted. I'm guided. I'm light. That's really the truth. And I got to that place in my life because I started, I really worked very hard at building a relationship with my own higher self and with spirit. I worked really hard at it for a really long time, a really long time. And I did that because I didn't really have another option. Yeah, I did it because I wanted to do it. But part of me also, like the way I went into it, was really a sense of, I'm going to show all of you how it doesn't work. Like that was my attitude. That's the truth. And what happened was I was wrong. And and what's happened is slowly, and it took some time. I really understood and I really felt deep on the inside that I was loved, that I was appreciated, that I was honored, that I was wanted, that I was worthy, all those things. And like if I ever, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. I come from the opposite. I come from the opposite completely. I completely come from the opposite. And I lived my life in the opposite for many, many, many years. Many, many, many years. So, uh, you know, am I imagining it? Maybe. But you know what? Everything else I lived to, I was imagining anyway. So I might as well live in an imagination that's pleasant, right? Wouldn't you rather go to sleep and have a good dream than have a bad dream? So I'm having a good dream. That's what she's about. She's about the loving, nurturing, kind, comforting mother. And she's also the deep empath, intuitive. Yeah. New ideas come forth. This is also the interesting thing about the sword. I've described this lately like that. Well, aces are new. This is a brand new idea. It's victory after tears. It's also, when I see the the ace of swords comes up, it's metallic. And so when it comes up, it shines. And their shine is so bright that nothing else exists. It dissolves everything that was in the past. This is the new bright, shiny idea. Nothing else exists. It's almost like you're at a toy store and you were really looking for this or that, right? And then you see something, it's like, oh, like it's the best toy in the whole store. It's like, so nothing else ever even existed. It's like, oh, did you want that matchbox? Are you kidding me? I don't want a matchbox. I don't even know what a matchbox is. I want this, whatever toy it is for you. And it's new, and it's clear, and it's intuitive too. Yeah. This is, sometimes I read this as in a little weird negative way because it's such a positive card. So I have to throw my Scorpio thing into it. The promise is fulfilled. This is about community. This is about emotional fulfillment. This is about the promise coming true, and living in it and being in it. So this is, I'm not going to throw another card after this. It's, I'm not saying, oh, well, you have to become a guru. You have to, you have to do astrology. It's different for all of us, and if making music is that thing that gets you in touch with spirit, then that's the thing. If running a business that's really exciting to you is the thing, then that's the thing. We all have our own thing. And, I honor that. So, but I feel like this is the year, but it needs to be, or I would suggest really strongly that that you have a place to go in comfort, that you invite the loving mother in, whether it's the loving mother inside of you, whether it's your friends and family, whether it's a relationship with something greater than you, which I strongly recommend. That's the way through. That's where the strength comes from. That's like the vitamins in the food. It's like the vitamins in the food. I'm so glad it's a beautiful reading. I'm so glad it's a beautiful reading. I kind of, because this is a reading for me too. So allow yourself to be loved. Allow yourself to be loved. All right. Building an oasis in the desert, choosing the light, having a strategy, being comforted, brand new ideas come forth. The time is now. She acts on her instinct toward expansion, toward creativity, toward, anticipating good things, being willing to learn new things, trusting your intuition, and that new land is growing. This will bring you into balance, and you are completely illuminated. There's a very spiritual aspect to the whole reading. There's no need to be defensive. You have the high ground. Toward emotional fulfillment. What a beautiful reading. What a beautiful reading. Blessings to you. Blessings. Have a lovely 2023.